spending time together that's not work related with your kids, and creating those core memories and the place of just where we're focused on each other and having leisure time together is so important for a child's development.
Well, hello, everybody.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of our On Purpose Parents podcast.
Woohoo.
As always, Kurt Johnston, the amazing Grace Yoon, and for this little series,
Yes.
at least, probably no more than that.
No,
We've
we
got
don't know. We don't
producer
know.
Chris on camera,
Thank you.
out of the shadows.
Thank you for letting me be
out of the
here.
Visible.
darkness, into the light.
Yes.
He's actually a pretty good-looking dude, you know, for
Yes,
for as old as he
absolutely.
is.
Oh my goodness. we're going to have mediation
it's
after
not-
this.
It's not like we keep him off camera because he's hard to look at.
Oh,
We-
my goodness.
We just keep him off camera because his job is not to be on camera. His job's not
Maybe.
even to really be on microphone.
Oh, gosh.
But we give him a microphone every episode in case he wants to chime in.
Because when he does chime in, it's like pearls of wisdom.
It really
Thank
is.
you so
He's,
It's like
he's a
this.
smart
You are
guy.
A
so
clam
sweet.
that
He's a
opens up
smart-
and the treasure that's
Yes.
inside.
But see, a clam. Should
it
be
a clam,
It should
right,
be kind
with
of.
the pearl?
It should be kind of hard to open.
Hard
like
to open.
Hard, like it doesn't open. And it says.
It's like once in a while.
Yeah. Just it only opens every once in a while.
Well,
Thank
this is
you.
the summer open.
I'm the
Summer-
clam?
I think so. I don't
Okay.
know. I'm just.
You're the pearl.
No,
'Cause you're so wonderful.
No. I think in this analogy,
and
you're
irritating.
You're the
So you
clam
create him.
with the pearl. Well, everybody, thanks
You're
for
the sand.
joining us. This is episode 2 of
Yes.
our little summer slowdown, where we're just kind of a little bit more laid back,
Yep.
a little bit shorter episodes, random topics. We'll get to that in a minute.
Yes.
But before we get to that, we do need, people might be going, if producer Chris is
Yeah.
on camera, who's running the camera?
Mm.
That's probably what everybody was probably wondering.
Everyone was
They
wondering
were like, wait a
this.
second, what's happening? How can this be? That's because
Such an
for the
upgrade.
second episode in a row this summer, we have the amazing Emmy, ladies and gentlemen,
Yay!
on camera. Emmy
Emmy is
works with
amazing.
us. She's amazing, and
I
we're
am so
using
late
her
for the
camera
applause.
because we broke our other one.
Yes.
That's probably why she's here, because she didn't want to loan us her camera
Emmy is
without running her camera, because she's like, wait, if you guys can break one camera, you can also break mine. So she's here.
Yes. Emmy
Yes.
is just the type of
She's
person
the
that makes
greatest.
everything
She's the
better.
best. She
So my
is. She's so
husband
kind.
Sam has had the privilege of being able to work with her. I know you have just started to work with her,
Yep.
but he's worked with her for quite a while now, and he always comes back with like such great compliments for her.
Well, of course.
Like
She's
just
awesome.
on
It's
his own,
easy.
like
Yeah.
unprompted by
Sure.
me. He'll
I
come
get it.
home and he'll be like,
I
oh,
get it.
Emmy's so great.
I do the same thing.
In fact, last week he came back with like a
Awesome.
box of like crumble cookies, and I was like, "Where's this box of crumble cookies?"
Crumble.
And he's like, "This was just from Emmy. She
what?
like came in, gave me a box of crumble cookies."
Hold
and
on.
like,
Emmy just gives Sam crumble cookies out of Emmy.
Yeah,
What?
Emmy-
Hold on a second. I've been on staff with Emmy now for like 5 months.
Uh-huh.
Not a
You-
not a crumble of not even a crumb. Forget about a whole crumble
Have
cookie.
you never gotten
No, I got nothing.
love from Emmy?
Well, I mean, she's very nice to me. She's very nice and kind, but she's never given me like. She didn't.
Sam is always coming home
I'm
with little gifts
wait a
and
second.
cookies
Always?
and like pictures
How
of things
often?
that Emmy's
Emmy.
done to decorate for his birthday.
Emmy's
at the
also
office.
given me a mug
No, she
to
doesn't.
put my hot tea in. No,
Emmy's-
she really has.
Oh, I think there's
It says
something
known
going
and
on
seen
here.
and loved.
Hold on. Shush. I just want. Hold on. Emmy's trying not to make eye contact with me
Emmy's
right
laughing
now.
really hard
She
behind the
doesn't even
camera right
she
now.
doesn't even want to look at me.
You're
First
right,
of
she's
all-
not looking at you.
Emmy, is it true that you gave Chris a mug? Just give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Wait. She gave Chris a mug.
We're going to lie
Chris,
about getting
wait
a
a
mug?
second.
Chris got a mug.
Hold on. Well,
Sam
yeah,
got
you would.
crumble cookies, plus many other things.
Okay. Hold on.
Kurt, you
Hold
get
on.
you get
Now,
prayers.
I don't
Jesus.
often pull the boss card. But like okay, so
You get the
and Chris joined this. Chris and I have worked together on a different team for a couple of years.
Yeah.
I switched roles at our church.
right.
When I switched roles, there was a role on this team that I thought, oh my goodness, Chris would be amazing at this.
Right.
And we could keep doing the parent podcast together. So I asked Chris if he would join our team, to which he said yes. And I said, awesome. It's going to take a couple months for us to shake this out. But just last week was his first. He's been on our team
For just 1 week.
for 1 week.
And he got a cup
and Emmy
that
gave him
says
a mug.
known,
Yeah.
seen, and loved.
And I got nothing. Emmy's never given me anything.
She's wonderful.
Nothing. I mean, she does have
maybe-
she does have a jar of chocolates.
That's for everybody on the floor.
It's for everybody. So I do like take a chocolate
There you go.
every other week.
Maybe you take too much chocolate, and she's taking note of this. You know
Okay.
that you've gotten your fill.
Yeah, we need to move on because
Okay.
I'm actually really saddened by this. I thought
Maybe
Amy
when
and
you
I-
walk by your desk, you shouldn't growl at her. you should maybe just
We'll-
smile.
we'll
Have
have
you
to-
ever
we'll
heard
have
me
to
growl?
resolve.
I've never growled at anybody. Amy, thumbs
right.
up or thumbs down? I'm a pretty nice guy.
Okay. Thumbs up.
Okay.
We'll go
All
with
right.
That
that.
was
We'll
two
go with
thumbs
that.
So here's what we're doing.
All right.
If people missed the first episode of this little series, I've got 9, well now 8.
Okay.
Because we took one out. Chris, you're going to pick
You
3.
get to choose now.
You're going to read what those are, and then Grace gets to pick the one she wants to talk about. These are just
goodness.
random topics.
This is truly-
some serious, some not so serious, some about marriage, some
Yeah.
about kids.
Some are
You just pick-
impromptu.
You just pick any random 3, and then Grace.
You want me to hold it?
Yeah, you go ahead and hold that. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna do
One.
one on each of the ends,
Oh.
And then the middle.
one
I
And
like,
then the
I
middle,
like that.
the
That's
strategy.
A good,
All
that's
right,
a
here
great
we go.
strategy. Okay, Grace.
You want me to read it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, wait. No, Chris, you read them off,
Oh,
and then
okay.
Grace.
And then
Grace
I
will
get to choose.
Ah, my eyes are bad, and your writing is horrendous.
You want me to read them off?
Favorite family vacation and why?
Ooh.
Oh, I like that one. Oh, this is another great one. Help, my child is having a hard time fitting in.
Ooh, that was pulled last week, but
Oh,
not,
it came
not
up again.
chosen.
It
Yeah.
was- that was. We said it was summer sadness.
Yeah.
How important is a regular date night, and what's your perfect version?
Oh my goodness.
Those are great ones.
These are actually all good ones. I have
Thank
to choose
you.
one.
Just choose one. And we'll put the other 2
man.
back in the pile. They might get picked next time.
That's true. Oh my goodness.
Wait, why? Why?
I was trying to put nice music on.
Chris.
I can't read
Producer
It's too
Chris.
far away.
So you know what?
See, this is why
because we said it's summer
Yeah.
slow down and
Yeah.
it's the
Lighter.
lighter, funner. I'm gonna go with favorite family vacation
Ooh.
and why.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep it light.
All right. Why
but
don't
I'm
you
gonna
keep
put the
that
other
one?
2 back
They'll go
because
back
I'm
in the. They'll go back in the. What's that called? Back in the kitty.
yes, because I liked the other. I liked one of the other
Back in
ones
the
too.
pot.
That was close. So maybe that'll come up
Favorite
again.
Family vacation, and like, why was it? Why was
Yeah.
that your favorite? And maybe it's a tradition. Maybe you have a tradition. Anyway, we'll
Traditional like a vacation thing.
yeah.
Oh.
Right. Like anyway.
What, do you want to start us off? Do you have one?
Yeah. I guess I do because I have probably like a favorite family vacation that was more of a one-off.
Okay.
But then we have a tradition that I think if you were to ask our family, they would overwhelmingly say, "Oh, that's our favorite family vacation," just because of the tradition of it. So
Interesting.
we have a tradition now, probably for about the last 12 years, 13 years or so. My daughter and I started. We went alone. We have some friends who go camping up at June Lake, which is up by Mammoth Mountain.
Oh, yeah.
And they've gone every year since he was like 3 years old, and he's now 50. And he's literally they moved out of the country for a few years, but he's literally gone to June Lake camping with his parents every year of his life for the most part. And about 15 years ago, they kind of started opening it up to whoever wanted to go. And a couple years after that, Kayla and I said, "Well, let's go check it out."
Yeah.
And my son, he had just made the junior high worship team.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
And he got scheduled to play guitar, and it was his first weekend playing guitar.
Yeah.
And we gave him a choice. We said, "Hey, I'm sure you're allowed to miss. So if you want to just tell the leader that
Yeah.
you can't be there that weekend," he goes, "I don't want to miss my first weekend." So Rachel and Cole stayed back, and Kayla and I went up to June Lake. And I remember it because she had her learner's permit.
Oh wow.
And so she, it's like
Yeah.
this 5-hour drive of which most of it is just straight down the same
Yeah.
freeway. And so when we got out kind of in the middle of nowhere, she took over and she drove for probably 3 hours straight because
Wow, so she got good practice.
Well, she got practice going 65 miles an hour straight.
Yeah.
for 3 hours straight. But it's just we camp. It's not fancy. We're intense, but it's always kind of a mix of 5 or 6 families.
Oh, that's fun.
There's probably 3 or 4 core families, and then there's always 2 or 3 different families that kind of rotate in or out. And we
Yeah.
fish and we hike and we play games and we catch chipmunks in like these homemade little traps. We do no harm, catch and release. But that's always part of the fun. And it's just this laid back, lazy. Years ago, I read a study by an organization. They're still around. They're not as big as they used to be. Focus on the Family. And they surveyed families and asked them what their favorite family vacations were. And overwhelmingly, it was kind of the same. There was like a tie between the two, and they kind of put them together, even though they're different. But it was camping and road trips. Camping and road trip were like way ahead of everything else. And then they did this follow-up survey, and what they deduced was the primary reason was in camping and road trips, there's more likely something to kind of go wrong. And you have to overcome it as a family. And then you forever remember that. Like, remember the year it snowed in June and we weren't ready for it in the mountains? Right? Remember the year the RV broke down 13 times and Dad had to take the bike off the back and ride it into town. Like, all these things. And that's what locks in people's brains more than just the all-inclusive Mexico resort, which, by the way, awesome.
Still
and would be amazing. But so, our favorite vacation would be the camping at June Lake.
I love that. And I love that it's like a tradition. That's not easy to do, I think, like to get into that rhythm, and the fact that you guys have that rhythm of being able to go back. I think that even locks it in even more. Like it's vacation plus tradition. And what I love about this question is, and we've talked about this in past podcasts, is those are two things that people could dismiss in a parenting podcast as lesser important topics to talk about. But we've talked about on this podcast how spending time together that's not work related with your kids and creating those core memories and the place of just where we're focused on each other and having leisure time together is so important for a child's development to feel safe, to feel wanted, and to have those like positive memories of family. That is, it's actually so valuable, and it adds to just like the development of like how they will be with their own families. So mine is also, my favorite vacation is also a road trip. So I think it was several years back, we ended up doing with my sister. She didn't have kids at that time. So my sister and her husband, my two kids, and my parents, we did a road trip down Highway 1 from where we're at, and we ended up in San Francisco. So it was like and we did it quick. So it was like a week.
Technically up Highway 1.
What did I say? Down Highway 1?
Yes. I was just up Highway 1.
Yes.
From here to San Francisco.
Yes. And we stopped at different Airbnbs along the way, but there are so many gems that you can stop at. There is that, I forget what it's called, but there's that beach where all of the sea lions are, like hundreds of them.
Like
and it's just
Monterey, maybe?
It's
or
before that.
Pismo
Maybe it's Pismo, But it's like a quick, you stay there for like 45 minutes, you take selfies, like with and then there's another spot like Bridal Falls. But there's also this like Limerick like hike. If anyone's interested, I have a whole itinerary. So just, you could leave a comment or email. But we did all of these pit stops along the way and finally ended up in San Francisco and went a little bit past San Francisco to the Redwood.
Where you can drive the car through the Redwood.
Yeah, well, we took a bus because it was like super. Yeah. We took a little tour, but but it was gorgeous.
It's amazing,
and I just think it was so much fun to. It was like camping, but like on the go. So we didn't camp; we stayed at Airbnbs. But it was just we made a little like booklet for everyone with like all the different stops and the pictures and the names. So we try to make it like a tour thing, but it was great, and it's the combination of spending time with family plus nature. I just think it's such a beautiful mix. One of my favorites.
Very cool. All right, producer Chris.
Well, I was thinking when we first selected that particular one, it's the same thing that you had said. It was part of our favorite, one of our favorite vacations was in Mammoth area, and things went wrong, and that's what made it such a great thing to talk about now. In fact, I just was talking to my dental hygienist Melanie, by the way, and Melanie watches our podcast. Hi, Melanie.
Hi, Melanie.
She's fantastic. Anyway, she was going there with her family, and I shared a few things that we had done. But the trip started off with, it's a long drive like you know, driving up north, and we went a little bit outside of San Francisco is a place called Half Moon Bay. And there's a hotel there that's fantastic. And my kids at this time were like right out of high school, and in middle school. And a couple of them worked for Marriott, so we got a really good deal, and we stayed at this place. And you walk up, and there's a guy playing bagpipes, and it's just kind of some random things were cool. We rode bikes around, but from there we cut across to Mammoth, going to Mammoth, and we had a place we were staying at there. And I miss, like how I forget to turn. Yeah, I'm just such an idiot with so many things. I missed the turnoff, and everyone's playing. No one's paying attention or anything. I'm not, and I'm driving, and an hour I drive the wrong way, which means after I got out of the car and screamed and hit things and stuff like that, I turned back and we drive. So that's. But, the thing that kept ringing in my head was just, you just have to, when things go wrong, you got to roll with it.
Yes.
Don't make it worse. Make the journey fantastic, you know. Someone had told me early on, they said, when you go on a trip, make sure that right when you leave, that the gas tank is full and bladders are empty. And you drive until gas tank is empty and bladders are full. So that was kind of like early on, I was like crazy with stuff like that. And then I was like, that was terrible advice. I don't want to be that guy. I want to be about the journey is just as important as the destination.
That's good.
But anyway, getting to Mammoth, and Mammoth, it's like a big snow, whatever, snow mountain. Yeah. And we didn't do that very often. Ski resort, thank you. I'm trying to think of what the word is. It's a big snow thing that you slide down on. But in the summertime, you ride bikes down it.
Oh, wow.
And it's mountain biking. So our 3 kids wanted to do that. And Tina was kind of like, and I said, oh, that's cool. We can go do something else. So we went something else, rented for the kids were so excited. And they didn't do the professional one. They didn't do the bunny one, because that was basically just kind riding on asphalt down through the town. They did the intermediate, which is like, okay. So we go to pick them up a couple hours later. They are crying. Oh. They are scraped up and tore up. They're bloody and filthy. They didn't even look like the same kids. And it was like, oh my gosh, they had like the
worst. What happened?
Oh my gosh, everything. They're going down. They're making fun of each other. They're knocking each other off these little cliff things.
Wow.
They're drinking each other's water. It's like they went bananas on this trip and didn't. They weren't like caring for each other. Instead, it was like, fighting for the last bit of water.
Oh my goodness.
But
it's still your favorite vacation?
It was, we have a lot of favorite vacations, but that was one that we really love talking about. And there's so many other stories that came out of that I won't share, but yeah.
I love that. The point that both of you guys are making of, yes, vacation is beautiful. Like the idea of it is also beautiful, but in real life, and most parents that are listening could probably attest to this, when you're traveling with kids or your spouse even, there's going to be bumps and bruises along the way. But like you said, you're not weird if that happens to you. If you're a parent listening and you're like, oh, Kurt and Grace and Chris, they just have the most idyllic vacations and their families are always getting along and so loving on these road trips. Like, let's just put that to rest. That's not true. And if your family isn't this idyllic vacation scenario, that's okay. Yeah. But you can still have it be something so memorable and have it be something you laugh at and enjoy and have it be something precious that's part of your family's memory repertoire.
And I know that parents listening to, financially, we're living in tough times and vacations can be expensive. And even the cheapest vacations they're still money that, it's still an extra expense.
Yes.
And I would just encourage parents listening, if that's a challenge for you, just save up a little bit here and there. I grew up dirt poor, really poor. And I think we only took one family vacation that I can remember growing up. And it was camping. But it was a big deal for my parents to take us camping. And I could tell I was probably 11 or 12 years old, and I could sit here right now and I could tell you guys 4 or 5 stories from that one camping trip that was just so meaningful for me as a young kid. And so, mom and dad, man, do what you can. Vacations don't have to be fancy.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to nice places. You can do a stay-at-home-cation and just do different little things every day. Because at the end of the day, it's really about memories.
That's right.
And your kids will be better off for it, and they will be thankful for the memories that you form with them, even though things go wrong, even though they might be bickering with them and with you for most of the vacation. Years later, they will look back fondly on those efforts. So, hey, parents, thanks for joining us. We know your summer's busy. Emmy, thanks for running the camera.
Yay, Emmy.
Thanks for the crumble cookies for some of us.
Thanks for being so kind, Emmy, to Sam and Chris. They appreciate it. And
I love my mug.
We will see everybody next episode.
Bye, everybody.